Is Festool worth it? Let's be real. Festool tools come with a very steep price tag. And are they actually worth what Festool is asking, or are they just drastically overpriced? My name is Victor with VF Woodworks, and that's what we're going to talk about. Having never been a Festool owner before, I was always in the ballpark of let me get the most bang for my buck. To do that, it meant not buying Festool tools, but buying tools that would allow me to build quality pieces without spending $1 billion. That is, until I bought this. The Festool TS55 track saw. And not to have a comparison video, but just as quick reference, I didn't actually buy this first. I actually bought a different saw first. So initially I bought the Makita version of the Festool TS55. It was their corded version. And while it was a good saw, it didn't check all the boxes for me. And I think the best way of putting it is that Festool is made for fine woodworking, while Makita is made for woodworking, not necessarily being as precise as Festool. When comparing those two saws, the biggest thing that caused me to return the Makita was the track itself. And the track, being what I dislike most about the Makita, is actually what I like most about the Festool. So just like the Makita, the Festool has these adjustments, and these adjustments allow the Festool to slide effortlessly on the track. While the Makita actually had the same adjustments, I could never get it dialed in just right. It was always too tight to where it wouldn't slide smoothly, or it was too loose to where it had play and it would wobble back and forth. And while I was able to get a really good cut with the Makita, it just wasn't as dialed in as the Festool is. And that's where I think Festool actually is worth the money, because when you're buying Festool products, you're getting something that is dialed in to a T to be precise in every aspect of woodworking. And while this track saw is actually the first Festool product I've owned, it's not the first one I've used. And having used Festool before, I can say that I am a big Festool fan, and I wish that I had spent some of my money buying Festool products earlier on. What I really love about the Festool TS55 is just how dead accurate it is with its cuts on the track. You know what? Enough talking about it. Why don't I just show you what I mean? So I have two pieces of walnut, and this walnut is surfaced on no sides. This stuff is rough. Check out how smooth that is. I mean, those seams are tight. So, I mean, as you can see, even without a jointer, I'm able to get seams that almost, they almost blend completely. If I were to put a clamp and glue on that, it'd be hard to tell that it was done with a track saw and not a jointer. And while the Makita gave me really good cuts, it never gave me cuts like that, like cuts that smooth, that dead accurate, that straight. If you're enjoying this content, I would please encourage you to go like and subscribe to my channel. This is a brand new YouTube channel, so having your support is gonna help the channel grow. It's gonna help me be able to make more videos like this. Videos that are centered around woodworking, so building, tips, tricks, how-tos, tool reviews, things like that. So not only is that a very straight, smooth cut, the splintering was also minimal. So not only is this saw giving me very accurate cuts, but it's also plenty powerful. I mean, it cut through the walnut like it was cutting through poplar. It was easy, it was effortless. Also, not necessarily a huge deal, but definitely a plus is the fact that we get standard or imperial as opposed to metric. With the Makita, it was actually in metric, which wasn't an issue, but let's say I wanted to cut half-inch material and I wanted the blade to go an 1/8 inch past the half-inch depth of the material, then I'd have to do the calculations of conversion and figure out what the conversion was from standard or imperial to metric. And it was just kind of a pain, an added step. So having standard on this is a giant plus for me. So prior to having the Festool or the Makita, I was just using the Craig AccuCut, which had a like an attachment that you put on your circular saw, and it would ride on these tracks. And I can say that my cuts with the Makita were probably equal to that of the Craig AccuCut. The point to that is the Festool, I think, is like $150 or $200 more than the Makita. So if you're gonna buy one of these two and you can afford it, spend the extra $150, $200 and get this one. I know it may be easier said than done, but if you're gonna spend that much money, you might as well spend it on something that's gonna make a bigger difference. Now, with all that said, I don't think every Festool product is absolutely worth the money. For instance, your Festool drill and drivers or your Festool Capex. Things like that are nice to have, but they don't make your woodworking any better. But for things like the track saw, the Rotex sander, and the domino, I think Festool is certainly worth the money. With that said, you don't need Festool to start woodworking or to make really good pieces. I built some incredible pieces along the way without having anything Festool. And I think you have to ask yourself, are you in a point where you need Festool? Is this a business or is it a hobby? Are you intending to make money with it? And if you are, how serious are you going to be? Is it going to be a side hustle or is it going to be your main thing? If you're a weekend hobbyist, you don't need Festool products. You don't need the best of the best. You just want to be able to build good stuff. And you can do that with any of the other brands that make good quality woodworking equipment. With things like Festool, woodworking becomes quicker and easier. And as a business, it makes everything more efficient, and efficiency is time. So when you can build things quicker and more efficient, you can save yourself time. That's cutting down how much time you're spending on a project, maximizing how much money you can make on each project, being able to do more projects. So there you have it. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments below. I'd love to help you with those. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.